non-authoritative answer. So what it is it's nothing but something like if we have a DNS server, we have two DNS server. Okay, this is what something like primary DNS, and this is what something like secondary DNS. Okay, so what is primary DNS? What is secondary DNS in the sense? For example, if there is a person, if there is a person here who want to access flipkart.com, so in his browser he is going to search for flipkart.com. What happen if we search for flipkart.com?
It tries to
He has to find the IP
IP
address,
of
right?
Flipkart.
We have to find the IP address of the flipkart.com. So
It will check the caching, DNS caching.
Yeah, if it
If
is
it's
not
not
there, then it
found,
will go to
resolver, DNS
resolver
resolver.
then. Yeah. So it will go to primary DNS and it will ask the primary DNS. So this primary DNS has lot of things here. Like for example, different domain names IP with IP address. For example, one domain name with the IP address, domain name with the IP address, domain name with the IP address, domain name with the IP address. The list of maybe some thousand list will be there. Okay, so do we need secondary DNS with same 1000 DNS whatever it is present here? For example, it's a Flipkart IP address here. Do we need same thing here as well? Whatever
No,
it's present in
maybe
primary
it's
DNS,
not possible.
whatever things are present in primary DNS, do we need that same copy as in secondary DNS?
No, sir.
No. It's like like this is something like if it's a layman term, it's something like a DNS. I have told you it's like a phone book. Okay, it's like a phone book. You'll open your phone. In that phone you'll have contacts. Okay, you'll have contacts. If the contacts app is not working, then you'll have a secondary DNS. You'll have a diary. In the diary you might have written the phone numbers with the names. This is a layman term. This is not real time. Okay, just to understand, make you understand, and to make remember. Okay, so now what happened in the sense? So now here whatever is there in the primary DNS, that will be same in the secondary DNS as well. Why? Because if something happened in the primary DNS server, then we can navigate to secondary DNS. We can navigate to secondary DNS, and secondary DNS will give that IP address of flipkart.com. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Any doubts? No doubts? Prashank, clear? Okay, so yeah, so primary DNS is the main DNS where all the domain name and the IP address will be there, and also we'll have secondary DNS so that if something happen with primary DNS, then a user can navigate through that secondary DNS and get the IP address of that flipkart.com, and he can visit that website. Okay, so here what happened? There is a thing called what is that name? So here what happened? Here in the secondary DNS we have a lot of data. So we may have, yeah.
Secondary DNS is like load balancer, sir.
No, load balancer, no, you can't say as load balancer. Load balancer is a different
No, it's
topic.
not load balancer. Like
I'm not sure accurately we can say that or
backup.
not.
kind of backup, sir.
Kind of backup, yeah. It's a backup. Yeah, correct. You can say it as backup.
Okay, sir.
A backup. Backup is a correct word. Not that the load balancer. No, is not an accurate word, but backup you can say. It's a backup. Secondary DNS is a backup DNS. Okay. Now what happened? The ISP or the not the ISP, the admin of the web page, the admin will be there for that page. What he'll do, the admin of the Flipkart.com, he'll in the primary, he'll have new IP address with that some domain as well, some domain. He's going to update that thing in primary DNS. So the main objective to tell here is a user, a admin, a Flipkart admin, a web admin of Flipkart is going to change something or add something new in the primary DNS. Okay. So now what happened? Now secondary DNS is going to ask primary DNS like, are there any updates? Any updates are there in your system? If there are any updates, the primary DNS is going to give reply. That's what we called something like transfer or update. So it's going to update. For example, if some IP address is added here, okay, some IP address is added here in the last part, and the secondary DNS is going to add, and secondary DNS is going to copy the same IP address in the backup. In the backup, it's going to take it. Okay, so now this process of asking the update and getting the update from the primary DNS is what we call as zone transfer. Zone transfer. Clear? Any doubts in this? This is what zone transfer. Okay, so zone transfer is where information from the primary DNS get updated in the secondary DNS based on the request which is raised by the secondary DNS. So that is called zone transfer. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes,
So
sir.
if you see you have seen this non-authoritative result here. You have seen non-authoritative result here. So that means it is not a primary DNS server. It is a secondary DNS server. The result is not from the primary DNS server. It's from non-authoritative or secondary DNS server or a backup DNS server. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
now moving to next part. Now what happened? So this process you understand, right? Secondary DNS is going to ask, is there any update to the primary DNS, and primary DNS, if there is an update, that the primary DNS is going to give the update to secondary DNS. Got it, right? So now, as a cybersecurity perspective, I'm a user here. Here we have a hacker. Okay, here we have, let me take some other random color. Let me take some random color. Okay, let it be. So, okay, I'm a hacker here. Okay, or some bad guy is there. So he's using his PC here, and what he'll do, he'll act this system as secondary DNS. Secondary DNS. Now he'll send a request to primary DNS. Do you have any update? DNS, secondary DNS, as an attacker, fake DNS, secondary DNS is going to ask primary DNS, do you have any update? If the primary DNS is not properly configured, or if there are any bugs, if there are any vulnerabilities, the primary DNS is going to give update back to the fake secondary DNS. which will give details. Like if it is happened, then the attacker may get the internal details or sensitive details from the primary DNS. So what do you call this? You know what do you call this attack? This attack is called as zone transfer attack. So the attack is called as zone transfer attack. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's see. So what results we got here?